Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ghost Critic back again for another week of reviews, and it's a DC week. I have nothing from the House of Marvel, no Image, no Dark Horse. It's all about DC this week for the amount I do actually were on my pull list this week. So where do we start? Let's start with the Vertigo title. Unexpected. It's a one-shot from Vertigo, and it's a kind of Halloween type deal. Now, I do believe Jason from Jason P. Wilson Zero on X-Force picked this as his pick of the week, and I haven't seen the video yet on why he's picked this. I wanted to formulate my own opinions about it before listening to his. But honestly, as good as it is, I don't think it's, for me anyway, a pick of the week. It's not as great as anything else that probably came out this week. No better or worse, let's put it that way. The problem I have with it, and with all kind of these anthology type one-shot deals that deal with the horrific, the horror kind of genre, is they try and make it too complicated, too clever. And while there are some outstanding stories in here, as a whole, as I was going on and on, because this is a hefty, it's almost book size. I mean, it's got a $7.99 price tag on there, so I know last week I could have got this, but I had such a huge pull list last week I couldn't afford it. So given the shortness of the comics I've got this week, this was ideal to pick up now. But as I was going on, I was getting tired of reading it. I was getting not bored, because the stories all, you know, kept my attention, but there's a lot to get through. And like I was saying, a lot of people at the moment are doing kind of Halloween-y type specials, showing off all their horror comics. And of course, they're all coming from kind of the Bronze Age, especially from the 70s and some from the late 60s. And I find them a lot more scary, a lot more horrific, and they do it because it's just out there. They don't try and be clever about it. They don't try and, you know, not fool the audience, but it's just out there. This is a horror comic. We have, you know, vampires, we have werewolves, we have Frankenstein, we have zombies, and there is a real sense of danger when you read these comics. These days, writers try and be way too clever, almost bordering on pretentiousness. Still, there are a lot of good stories in here. A couple have some interesting twists. I mean, the one with the zombie making herself up to look human was a funny story. The tale of the dogs taking over the humans, and then kind of a role reversal was an interesting kind of plot. Not as if it's not been done before, but you know, it was done well and the art was nice on it. The one about the caveman that lives in our society today but is being kept in this kind of environment that he would have lived in back in caveman days. But as a whole, a little bit disappointed. But as a one-shot, if you've got that kind of money to splash, it's worth it. On to something that was exciting as always and fantastical. It is Fables, and it is issue number 110, and we are continuing their kind of think it's 3 storyline thread at the moment, really. We've got Buffkin still in the Land of Oz, still heading this revolution, and getting some rather unlikely characters to join him in said revolution. We're still looking to find out who's going to be the next North Wind, and the cardinal winds, the 3 cardinal winds that have turned up, might not have the children's best interests at heart, let's put it that way. And we get a little brief snippet of the Pratt lady. What's she calling herself now? Oops, I can't remember. But obviously they're leading up to something with this, because they keep putting little tiny snippets. It's like a page, maybe 2 pages worth in each issue. So she hasn't been forgotten, and I suspect there is going to be a big storyline with her in it very soon. Loved the ending. A certain casket box has been found, and you can only think bad things are coming. So yes, as always, Fables 110, fantastic read, magical as always. Willingham, Buckingham, top super team. 2 comics. I didn't really have a pick of the week this week, but these 2 comics of the 4 that I did pick up were more outstanding. Let's start with Justice League issue 2. What a lot of fun this was. People can judge this and be down on it because they're the whole retconning and making these superheroes maybe act like they never did. But this is so much fun. We have... It's an age-old cliche that, you know, Marvel have used it, DC have used it time and time again, where superheroes meet up from the get-go and there's a misunderstanding and they fight. It's been done so many times before. We all know from countless, you know, X-Men titles, you know, the big team books, JLA, JSA, oh, the whole lot of them. There's always a misunderstanding. They always have a big fight, and at the end they all come together and fight the big bad, which is clearly what is going on here. So we have the Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern whole deal battle. Yes, we get introduced to Flash this time, making the Justice League that just a little bit bigger to make the group more rounded. We're obviously waiting for a few more people, and we get to find out what the boxes are for, and all I'm gonna go is boom! Yes, Darkseid and his boom boxes are back, and an army approaches. And of course, with this army causes catastrophe, and a certain young poor black boy, Victor, we find out how he gets to be made cyborg. Excellent fun. Jeff Johns writing the hell out of this is brilliant, and of course Jim Lee's art is perfect as always. Finally, and again, one of the outstanding titles, but not necessarily the pick of the week, but it was still great nonetheless. It's Batman issue 2 by Scott Snyder, and this is my Batman book. Detective upped its game with issue 2, but Batman The Dark Knight, we don't know whether that's going to be any better than the first issue. Batman and Robin kind of upped its game as well, but the first issue of Batman had me hooked straight away, and this is no exception. Again, great art. I love Capullo's art, and it's just one of those issues where you have it all. It's got action in it, it's got the detective work in it, it's got the high tech in it, it's got the suspicions, the mystery. You have maybe alliances between Bruce and this future mayor. Is he as innocent and true as he makes out to be, or is something going to happen down there? And then you have the big bad, this Mr. Nobody, and more intrigue about this whole owl cabal, or Court of Owls, that was it, the Court of Owls. And it's the bit at the start with a nice history bit about the Wayne Tower and a story about the gargoyles was a nice use, and of course you knew it was going to be fitted in later on to save Bruce Wayne from his impending falling doom. So yes, absolutely fantastic title and well worth the pickup. And that was it, I'm afraid. That's it for this week. No Marvel. What happened? Obviously Amazing Spider-Man wasn't out this week. It seems to come out every week. So, in lieu of that, what did you guys get? What did I miss this week? Did you pick up any of them? What did you think of them? As always, up there is a subscribe button if this is your first time and you like what you see. Down there, there's a thumbs up button, which I love to see pressed. And there's a comment box, so put all your comments down on there. This weekend, there will probably be 2 more videos. You asked for it, so you're going to get it. Another long box history, and it will be pure Green Lantern from the last volume just gone, before we had the whole reboot. And anybody who watched my 100th video knows I started a new segment called Viewer's Choice, where I asked you guys for recommendations on something like a trade that I could pick up quite easily from Amazon, and I eventually chose Common Grounds, and that was recommended to me by Jean-Paul Espita, and I have finished that now, and I will do a review video on that, and we'll be ready to pick up a new book as chosen by you. Wait for that video before recommending, and just as a little precursor to that video, don't recommend Chew to me. I know you all love it. I love it too. I'm already picking it up. I want something new. But wait for that video. It will be up at some point over the weekend, if not sooner. Goodbye.